So, you got Space Engineers. You're excited. You come in, new game, and you're like, what do I do now? There's so many different options. There's so many different options. There's sandbox, story scenarios, learning to survive, which you could start here, or you can start by watching this video and giving it a thumbs up. Would appreciate it. Then you've got PvP scenarios, which is going to be a lot of your combat. Original content, that was back when the game first started. You can start here with a an outpost. I started there and didn't know what I was doing. So didn't know how to fly a plane or a ship. Knew how to mine, but I didn't know how to, you know, do anything else. So uh, my suggestion is to start into Sandbox. And then in Sandbox, you can choose different ones. You've got your red ship, asteroid armory, and they tell you each one. You're in an expanse military research facility. Um, you've got Pertam, distant moons, which in distant moon is going to be um, where you're on basically a deep space. Distant worlds, which is going to be your fantasy type world, or home system. My suggestion is the home system for just starting out. Okay. Before you hit start, go into customize. Press your select. You can go into survival or creative. I always suggest going into creative. Autosave, you know what autosave does. Uh, Backup saves, mods. Now, mods, you will have to have an account with either Steam or Mod.io. I have a PlayStation, so Mod.io works best for me. You can go into mods and choose all your different mods. So you see that, I've got quite a few different mods in here. Um, I like the gravel sifter, the power lines, colorful icons, Azimuth remastered. And if I'm going too fast, you can always screenshot it, look at it later, or rewind the video and do it again. Pause the video and look and see and find it on Mod.io. There is the HUD. uh, that I like. I have colorful icons. There it is. HUD, modern, and fancy. That one there is more easily read. But for the sake of just starting out, you're following along, you just now started, we're not going to put any mods in, okay? Assembly efficiency, refinery speed. You'll get into some of these later. Block inventory, character inventory size. Me, I like to bump it up to 10. That way I can carry a little bit more. But we're going to go ahead and leave it at the original setting. Grinding speed, which as you progress in the game and you build, you'll be able to adjust with different tools and upgrade your tools for your grinder, your welder. View distance, 15 kilometers. Floating objects. Enable lightning damage. Okay, this is going to be entirely up to you. And enable weather. Right now, enable weather is turned on. We're going to turn it off so that we can see a little bit more. Enable radiation. We'll go ahead and turn that one off. For game sake, or for tutorial sake. Enable sun rotation. Day duration. Now, it auto defaults at 2 hours. I like to bump it up to 8 hours. So you got 8 hours in the day to do work. Asteroid amount. You can go in and change your asteroid amount. How many asteroids, which we're on the Earth-like planet, so we don't get a lot of asteroids. But if you're on Pertan or one of the other, you're on the moon, you're in space, then you can change it to none, lower, or lowest density. Meteor activity. Same thing. That's going to be how many meteors are around you. The world size, I suggest keeping it unlimited. Sound mode is an arcade. Auto healing. Auto respawn. Enable oxygen. Enable progression. Okay. Now this is going to be entirely up to you. All of these are entirely up to you, but progression, there is a progression tree, and you'll have to do certain things in order to build other things. I turned it off. I had it on for many, many, many years of playing. But because I do a lot of videos, I don't want to grind through the progression tree in order to. So we'll turn that one off. You've got air tightness, jetpack, spawn tools. So you spawn, if you die, then you respawn with your tools on, or you can turn it off. Enable suit respawn. There again, that's all going to be up to you. Encounters with NPCs. You're in space, you want cargo ships to, you want drones, you want random encounters, planetary encounters. Enable wolves. Hi, Chloe. You enable wolves. I'm not big on the wolves. I'll keep the spiders on, but we're on Earth, so no spiders. But if you're on Pertan or Mars, then yeah, spiders are prevalent. Animal NPC limits, global encounter. Hi, Michael. Oh, you don't like the tool shake? Random encounter, normal, reputation decay. Those are going to be your reputation will be with the other NPCs that are in there. If you don't plan on going to space, turn off the global encounters so that they aren't spawning every 30 minutes. Yeah, that's entirely up to you. This is going to be a basic video. Everybody will have their own preference. I'm just going through and helping the first time player play. Destructible blocks. Enable. I'm trying to hit the ones that you may look at it and go, okay, what does that do? Grid storage. If you're playing with multiplayer, then you want to see the players' names on the screen. But if you're live streaming, then you may want to turn that off to kind of give it more realism. Enable tool shake, and that's what Michael was just talking about. He doesn't like playing with tool shake. Some may enjoy it. Thruster damage. That's where if you get in front of a thruster, it will kill you. Also, if you have a thruster in front of another block, it will take the damage. Enable third-person view. Allow to convert into stations. Voxel destruction. Total PCs, PCUs, I would keep that at max. So now we're okay with that. We'll go ahead and push start. And then it will go into a loading screen. And depending on how many mods you picked will depend on how readily it came. So in Sandbox, in Creative, let me go back. In Sandbox, you're going to start with just a space suit. Out here in space on the planet Earth. This will get you familiar with building. In Sandbox, you're not going to be able to die, so don't worry about dying. Or in creative mode, rather. You're not going to be able to die, so don't worry about it. Let's see if we can head towards some daylight. And if you missed my video on how to navigate the buttons, be sure and check it out. Yeah, we've not gotten to that part. All of that is new stuff there, Mike. Yeah, in one of my other tutorial videos, explained the aspects of what buttons do what. So, like whenever I turn, I'm using my L1 and joystick to level myself back out. Right joystick. Something that I don't believe that I mentioned is if you are looking for minerals, ores, ore deposits, if you put in your hand drill, your ore deposits will be detectable within so many kilometers. And this is all vanilla, so the sky, I don't have my Hubble sky on. because we're not using any mods at the moment. I want you to be able to see what the beginning so this will be your experience. You'll be somewhere on Earth, may not be in the mountains, because every time you spawn somewhere new. I was looking for a flat spot where I can where we can start building, because I've gotten several comments on my tutorial video on they're not able to build. They don't know how to place that first block. And I'm very excited and very glad to do these videos for people just starting out in Space Engineers. It's hard to believe 13 years later, Space Engineers is still growing like it is. But it really is truly a really good game. It has something for everybody, in my opinion. If you just want to get in here and build, like we're in creative mode at the moment, so we can just get in here and build without mining resources, worrying about dying. I'm trying to watch the screen to see if I can find a lighter spot, as well as, because I want you guys to be able to see and that's primarily why I do 8-hour daytimes, unless I'm working inside a base, building a ship. I've got plenty of lights. All right. this should be fine. Because we're over here by some food anyways. There it is. Alright, so you see stuff like that? That's food. That's actually our wheat. If you go in and you look, that's grains. And see, I've got my drill out, so it says gold 38.3 meters ahead. And we know it's ahead because it is counting down. Now it's gone further to 40. So we find the lowest number. Which it looks like 38 is where it's at. So it's going to be straight down 38 meters. So if we wanted to drill, you can go back and watch one of my other videos on that. This is building. All right. And for the sake of video, let's go ahead and change the time of day. So we can see. There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. All right, so you're ready to start building. On the controller, it's going to be your push down on your left joystick, which is going to be your R3 button. We've got your radio that comes up, and then all of these buttons are pretty much self-explanatory. To place your first block, go ahead and confirm that that's the one you want. Now see how this is, it says local grid align placement mode is activated. So this is going to place it towards the local grid. We don't really want that. So you may say, well, how can I straighten that out? I mean, you know, this just changes the directions of it. If you push your L1, if ever you need to know where the help is, push your R3 and it will pull up the different actions. There's your build, and then it'll tell you block placement mode, toggle auto rotation, Symmetry mode. That's where you build on both sides. Everything's going to be the same on both sides. Symmetry mode on and off. And multi-block building. So now this is in free mode. So now I can change it however I want. Now if I push my L1 and R2, change it to gravity alignment. It tells you on the screen. Gravity alignment placement. So now it is placed level with gravity. Now to place it, we're going to push our R2. And when it's highlighted in red, that means we don't have the materials with us and we can't place it. And we can just place like that. Now you say, well, I don't want a square block. I want the other blocks that are in there. How do I do that? Push up on your up and down arrows. And see how it changed the block? And you can toggle through all the different ones. Now I am using controller. It's different on mouse and keyboard. So if we want to put in a slope so that we're walking up like a ramp, then we'll push down for our orientation and see how it shows that this is going to change it from that to that. And that turns it around. Go ahead and place that down. Now we can walk straight up on it without any issues. And if you push your L3 again, it goes back to the hands. Push your R1 to confirm, and that gets everything out of your hands. All right. So that's just a little where to start in Sandbox and in creative mode. From here, you can do whatever you want. You can build and just expand all you want. If you get in here and you build an amazing rover or ship or base, or because you can build it from inside here, then save it as a blueprint. Now you're going, save it as a blueprint. How do you do that? Push your R3 and it says blueprint actions. You got copy grid, create blueprint, cut grid, and paste grid. So if I want to save this as a blueprint, I can make sure that I'm looking at it. Go in there. I can create it as a blueprint. We'll go ahead and copy this. So you push up, confirm. Now you've got an exact replica of what you just created. And you can come over here, and as long as it's green, there's no obstructions. And you can go ahead and place that down. And now we've just copied it and put it over here, which comes in handy if you're wanting to build a ship. You want to know how that's going to react. Go ahead and copy one, test it out, fly it around, see how it's going to do. If you like it, then you can come in and create your blueprint without going through all that work of creating a ship, testing it out, blowing it up, and then you realize, oh, I've got to start all over. Just go ahead and copy it, place it somewhere else, and take off, fly it, see how you like it. I hope that this answered some of the questions. On our next one, we'll be in survival mode. We'll start out in survival mode, and you can see what it's like to just start from scratch in survival. This is Triple D. Remember, be kind to one another, and love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.